Hey y'all, welcome back to yet another episode of Luis el Apóstol Feliz. Today I have an amazing update. This is my 5-month update on these Sonoma Goods for Life Chelsea boots. And so I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion about what I think about them. As well as talk about, three things that, are three things that I do like about them, three things that I do not like about them. So this is an honest, this is an honest and unbiased review. Because let's face it, no boot is perfect. So let's talk about the three things that I do like. The first thing that I do love about them is the fact that, these boots have gone through everything. I wore them, I wore them on, I wore them during good weather. I wore them during bad weather. But the thing about these is that these are, in all instances of the word, they are considered as luxury Chelsea boots. But they are not on the level as, they're not up to snuff comparing to Thursday Boots, Beckett Simonon, Bluntstone. Because with Beckett Simonon and all those, you can expect to pay a pretty penny. But with these, even though these did not have a price on them, these are still a good beginner's Chelsea boots. Now, let's talk about, the second thing I love is the style. They go well with everything. If you're wearing them with jeans or a suit or shirt, these go well. These go well with all your outfits. Jeans and shirt, and then you put on your bracelet, your necklace, and boom. You have an amazing pair that elevates your feel. And the third thing that I love was, they are comfy. Close the door, okay, good. They are comfortable. They are comfortable right off the box, right out of the box. But because these are made with man-made material, which supposed to be leather. You know, these boots are amazing. Like I've said, are they perfect? Of course not. If all Chelsea boots were perfect, you know, they would look rather boring. And we don't want that. And so, and so, let's talk about the three things that I don't like. And after that, after the three things that I dislike is after I am done with the three things that I really don't like about him, I am going to have to point out the elephant in the room. And so the first thing, the first thing that I don't like about them is, is that, the break-in period, when I got them on February 3rd, 2025, they were kind of tight. Because these are size 7, normally I'm a size 8, so then I have to go down. I had to go a full size down. And so, from my Brannick device. And so, that's one thing that I really didn't like, is that they are tight, but once you break them in, once you break them in, they are going to, they're going to mold, your feet will mold into them like like no tomorrow. The second thing I don't like is obviously the elastic gusset here. I'm gonna show you which pair was it. Wait a minute. So the elastic gusset here sometimes gets a little bumpy here. And like I've said, these aren't on the level as other high-end shoes like Beckett Seminon, or Thursday boots. If you get the rugged and resilient leather, or they're not on the level as most of your competition. So be aware of that. You are these are prone to creasing. So that is one thing that you need to understand. And even though it has kind of a unlined interior, it's just all fabric, the thing with these Sonoma goods, the thing with, anything that has Kohl's branded, they're not going for, they're not going for, they're not going all out with luxury and opulence, but this is a great gateway to start with a pair, and when you look at them, sitting on display, when you look at them on display, they these are by far the most amazing boots that I've ever had. And I highly recommend them. You know, I mean, yeah, they're not on the level as some of your top tier luxury Chelsea boots, but, you know, dollar for dollar, you know, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, you know, these are easier to, these are easy to put miles on. Once you break them in, you know, yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of luxury and, you know, and appeal, but these boots are beautiful. Now, like I've said before, the elephant in the room, you know, right here, you do have just a little bit of a little bump right here, just a little bit of a scratch right there, just a little bit of a scratching right here, you know, you know, but you do have just a little bit of a scuff right there, just a little bit of a scuff right there, you know, which is normal for a black Chelsea boot, that's normal for a black Chelsea boot because, they can show black is beautiful, right? But black isn't known to last forever in a clean state. So I am gonna have to, do a little shine right here. I'm gonna have to put some shoe trees there. Kind of do a mirror polish so that I can keep them as pristine as possible. And so yeah. Let me know what y'all think about these boots. Are you excited? Are you excited that I get to do a proper update? And yeah, hope y'all enjoy this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.